What does a good day look like for you? For me, it's a good day when I have a nice time with my friends, when I enjoy what I am learning at school, when I get to dance, and let's be honest, when I like the school's lunch. Here's the thing. Every day we are all trying to feel good and to make it a good day. We make friends, try to be good friends, and work through issues when they come up. But how do we learn how to do that? How do we learn how to be a good friend and how to work through issues when they come up? How do we learn how to understand what other people may be going through and why we feel the way we do? Hi, my name is Emmy Green. I'm a 5th grader, a dancer, a sister, a daughter, and a friend. And my dream big idea is to create an elementary school specials class called Connections. I got this idea from watching my mom. She works as a lawyer for kids in foster care for a long time. Sometimes when I was little, I went to court with her. I even got to sit behind the bench with a judge. My mom spends lots of time sitting in circles with the kids. She says it really helps. She says it even helps the grown-ups. So I was thinking, maybe connecting in circles would be good for all of us. In Connections, we would learn ways to understand others' perspectives, ways to communicate so that we can be good friends, and how to work through problems with others when they come up. We would also learn how to understand ourselves and each other. You may wonder, what would we do in Connections class? In Connections, we would learn to identify how we feel, what we need, and what to do when things feel big. We would practice ways to feel better in our own bodies, and we would also practice ways to be empathetic to others. We would learn kindness. We would sit in circles because circles represent inclusivity and equality. Circles help make relationships stronger and let us understand each other's perspectives. Plus, all voices get to be heard. We would begin every class with a circle go-round. This could be answering a funny or meaningful question in the group. We would learn about each other and share. This will help with connection, and it might sometimes feel scary, but being open like this helps us to create community. Sometimes we do circles at dance. We share things with each other. It helps us to be better friends. One of my favorite circle go-rounds has been when we each said a compliment about the person next to us. That was meaningful. Sometimes at dinner we do funny circle go-rounds. One of my favorite funny circle go-rounds was whether you would rather eat a dozen donuts or a dozen cookies. Let's be honest, I've eaten a dozen cookies. What would you choose? We would start Connections with learning why we feel the way we do at times and how our brain systems work. We would learn about the stress response. Kids are under a lot of stress these days. We have anxious, overwhelming feelings at times. It would be nice for us to know that our feelings are coming from somewhere, that they are understandable, and are maybe even trying to protect us. Our brain watches out for us and tries to keep us safe. When we feel stressed or scared, our brain can trigger us to react and either fight or lash out, run away or avoid, or freeze in place. Once we understand why we feel the way we do, we can learn what our feelings and needs are telling us. Author Diane Albert says, we can become so good at spotting and naming our feelings, we can actually become emotion detectives. Spotting and naming our feelings will help us know what we need and how we can get help. The feelings are clues. This will help us get along better and solve problems. It's also the start to learning empathy. And that's the #1 thing we would do in Connections class. We would learn ways to communicate with empathy. Empathy is when we learn to understand another person's feelings, their perspective, and what is real for them. This helps us to create connection and make friends. Empathy takes a lot of practice. We would practice active listening, role-play situations, practice giving empathy to others, and practice giving empathy to ourselves. We would also play empathy games. Let's try one now. I'm going to describe a situation and you guess what the person might be feeling. Here are a list of feeling words to help. Caleb studied really hard for his test and failed. Tolly tried out for the school play and got the role she wanted. There was nowhere for James to sit at lunch. Shanika made the dance team, but her best friend didn't. Let's move on to the next big part of Connections class. #2, we will learn helpful ways to respond to our feelings and to take care of ourselves. Some examples of this are breathing exercises or shaking out your tension and dancing. I love dancing. Dance is always there for me. It feels great to be with my friends, do new tricks, learn beautiful choreography, and get good exercise. In its best moments, dance makes me feel special and helps me know that I matter. Dance also teaches me to get back up when I fall down and to keep going. We would also do helpful, gentle exercises. One that I love is butterfly taps. Let's try this one together. Cross your arms over your heart while tapping alternating hands on your arms. Take deep breaths. Keep on going until you notice you feel a little bit better. We would also do kids yoga. Yoga helps build strength, attention, focus, and can reduce our stress and anxiety. Some of my favorite poses are child's pose, headstand, and dancer's pose, of course. Doing meditations and mindfulness exercises would help too. Let's try one together. You can close your eyes if that feels comfortable or look down. Take a deep breath. Imagine a safe place in nature. Maybe you've been there before, or maybe you've seen this place in pictures. You may be at the mountains or at the beach, or maybe you're sitting by a lake. What do you see? What sounds do you hear? What's growing in the ground? What color is the sky? And what do you smell? Take another deep breath and slowly open your eyes or look up, and notice how you feel. Lastly, we would include art therapy projects in our class. This will help us with coping skills and self-esteem, and to help us make sense of our feelings without having to talk. We could do things like painting our emotions, creating calm bottles, doing drama improv games, and creating worry boxes. At the end of the school year, we could create a toolbox filled with all of the feeling words, empathy practice tips, and all the coping skills that really worked for us. Connections class is my idea to create a connected, empathetic, and brighter future. Imagine how different things could be if we all learned empathy, kindness, and self-awareness as children, along with reading and math. We would have a whole new language, new understandings, and new amazing skills. Let's learn about our feelings and that it's okay to feel them. Let's learn how to be good friends to each other and how to be a good friend to ourselves. Understanding ourselves is important, and understanding each other could help us change the world. Let's create a connections class. It sounds easy, but we'd have to be brave. I'm ready. Are you?